Apple's going to make history on Monday at its big WWDC event, where everyone is expecting to hear about generative AI coming to your Apple devices. But I'm going to be watching closely for a few other big topics besides just a smarter Siri. Now, of course, AI is a big deal, but there's more drama to watch out for beyond AI. Buckle up, this is not your run-of-the-mill video on all the rumors we're expecting at Apple's Developers Conference, because I'm giving you one more thing to think about. Here are the biggest topics to pay attention to at WWDC, including how Apple handles the wording and delivery of certain announcements. I'm Bridget Carey, and this is One More Thing. Mark your calendars for June 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific, when Apple streams its presentation on the major updates coming to its software and operating systems. Now, we are not expecting new hardware, but it will kick off a new era for Apple and generative AI. One of the more controversial things we're expecting is for Apple to announce a partnership with OpenAI to put ChatGPT on the iPhone. Now, none of this is official yet. It's all based on what Bloomberg is reporting, but this would mean that Apple is attaching itself to a company that has some messy image problems right now, which can lead to a lack of trust in the product. The CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, he was fired from his own company in November when the board had no confidence in his leadership. There were concerns on how he handles safety issues in artificial intelligence. Now, he was reinstated later that same month, but several employees and executives who handled work on AI safety have abruptly left. According to Vox, they've quit or been pushed out, with safety-minded employees reportedly losing faith in Altman. And then just the other week, you have actress Scarlett Johansson publicly criticizing Altman over the lack of transparency on how his company acquired that voice of its chatbot. Altman asked Johansson if ChatGPT could use her voice, and she said no, and then she got upset when the chatbot did sound a lot like her. The company had to write a blog post to defend themselves from that claim. Now, I'll be watching how Apple phrases this partnership and how much of a presence ChatGPT has on the iPhone. Bloomberg says that it's expected Apple's going to make it an opt-in service, so customers could choose not to turn on the ChatGPT bot if they don't want it. Another question is, would we even see Altman in the presentation? With all the drama, maybe don't expect to see him. But then again, it wouldn't be the first time Altman was on stage at WWDC. 16 years ago, he and his double polo collars walked on the stage at WWDC to present his app, Looped. It was a social network mapping tool, so you know if your friends are nearby.
You never have to eat lunch alone again.
That was 2008, before the App Store was even a thing. Apple, under the Steve Jobs era, used him and other apps to talk up the future of the iPhone and what's possible with apps. And now it seems Apple is leaning on him again to show what's possible with AI. So why not bring him into the presentation?
We think this is a new era of mobile. We're thrilled to be part of it. Thanks very much.
1 year ago, Apple used WWDC to introduce the Apple Vision Pro. And this is the first big update for the future of this headset. What does spatial computing 2.0 look like? Now, I'm looking to see how much Apple really shows us something new here to take it to the next level and convince developers that this is worth building on. Only a few entertainment experiences have been released. Disney said it had big plans and big ideas for the Vision Pro. But only a week ago, Disney released the Marvel What If experience. It was this free interactive story, like half game, half film. Will Disney be ready to announce more coming soon? What about opportunities with ESPN or sports content? These are things that were teased before. Other games for Vision Pro dropped all at once. There is the long-teased Vision Pro release of the VR game Demio, and the release of Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator. They are also on Meta's headsets, but it looks like these Vision Pro versions were all coordinated to come out before WWDC, but people will need to see more. It's been hard to really get people to understand or even experience the Vision Pro. Not every app lets you capture video of what you see in the Vision Pro, so there are limited ways to get other people hyped up about it. And it's not designed to be a headset that you can easily share with other people. Most folks have to go to an Apple store to try it out, and then they don't ever see it in their lives again. Well, you might see it at the Lowe's Home Improvement Store. 9 to 5 Mac reports that some Lowe's stores are getting demo units to show off an app for remodeling your kitchen. The real fix-it-up job is going to be on Tim Cook to show why we have to get excited again about the Vision Pro and why developers should too. iOS 18 is going to be a major focus of the presentation to see what's coming next to the iPhone. But not everyone is excited. There are several industry groups speaking out publicly against a feature that has not even officially been announced yet. According to Apple Insider, there is a feature coming to Safari. It's called Web Eraser. Now, this would let users selectively block certain parts of a website, and that means it could erase the advertisement on a website. That led to a complaint from the UK News Media Association about how this threatens the future of journalism. And Business Insider reports that a group of French publishers and advertisers called on Apple to halt the rollout of this feature because of how it can hurt the industry, which needs ads to function. So when did Apple become a group that could contribute to the downfall of the publishing industry? I'm wondering if this outcry is going to change how Apple decides to announce this reported feature, if it announces it at all. Not everything is drama. iOS 18 is said to have a ton of new features, including ways to customize your screen and placement of app icons. There might be more fun tools, like being able to create different emoji. But pay attention to how much Apple mentions RCS, which is short for Rich Communication Services. It's a messaging protocol that replaces SMS, and it's used by Android phones. Apple said it is putting RCS on iPhones after facing pressure from lawmakers. Apple is in the middle of an antitrust suit filed by the U.S. Department of Justice. It accuses Apple of building a monopoly in how it locks down the iPhone. And in light of this lawsuit, will Apple make a big deal about adding RCS and how much better it is to chat with Android users now? Or will Apple just give it a quick mention and move on like it's no big deal? There's lots of things we have on our wish list of what you want to see on iOS 18, but many of you are commenting on my videos about how much you want to see improvements to Siri. And yeah, I do think everyone wants to see Siri level up. We will likely see updates to Siri based on the early reporting, but how does Apple really make that assistant smarter? Will it just give us answers quickly? Are there fewer misunderstandings? Or will Apple try to impress us with how conversational it sounds? Will it get a new voice or a new look? And how much is it going to poke into our lives by doing tasks within apps? There's a lot of pressure on Apple to come up with a new brain for Siri that makes it handy, but it's not going to be a good look if Apple just tries to impress us with something that is all talk but no substance. Now, we're going to find out on Monday. I'll be here on the CNET YouTube channel covering it live with my co-host Lexi Savides, and other CNET colleagues on the Apple campus will be there too. Our live pre-show begins at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, and then we're also going to give our raw reactions after the Apple keynote. So I hope to see you in the chat, and let me know in the comments, what do you care most about at WWDC? And afterward, I'm sure there's going to be one more thing we have to talk about. Thanks for watching.